Octagon touches down in the Windy City this weekend for UFC 225, and there are a number of things about this event to be excited for. This is one of those cards that sneaks up on us, and it's only when it's almost here that you realize how many great bouts there are on tap. Out of all the fights on this card with big names in them, Clay Guida versus Charles Oliveira is one I'm really looking forward to. Guida's been fighting in the UFC since 2006, has 25 fights under the promotion, and is coming off of one of the best performances of his entire career after he knocked out Joe Lozon at UFC Fight Night, Poirier versus Pettis. And Charles Oliveira has been and always will be one of my very favorite fighters to watch compete. He is coming off of a loss to Paul Felder, but technically speaking, he's one of the sharpest fighters in the promotion. He's a threat to anybody who steps in there, so the idea of Oliveira versus a motivated and more confident than ever Clay Guida is something that really has my attention. There's also probably two of the best flyweights in the world, not named Demetrius Johnson, facing off against each other when Joseph Benavidez takes on Sergio Pettis. Although Benavidez is coming off of an extended layoff, he is riding a 6-fight winning streak and hasn't lost since he challenged DJ for the title back in 2013. Pettis is coming off of a loss, but he's the future of the division, and despite having lost his last fight, given the landscape of the flyweight division, he could easily be one impressive performance away from earning a crack at the title, so that fight most certainly has title implications. We have fighters like former light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans and Ricardo Lamas competing on this card. Claudia Gadelha is taking on Carla Esparza, and one of the biggest names in MMA heavyweight history, Alistair Overeem, is taking on up-and-comer Curtis Blaydes. And this is just the undercard, so you can imagine the main card of UFC 225 has its fair share of high-profile fights. It most certainly does, but at the very top of this thing, we've got a major one. A fight that is pitting two of the most dangerous fighters in the middleweight division off against each other when Yoel Romero takes on Robert Whittaker for the undisputed UFC middleweight title. This fight is very intriguing for a number of reasons. One of which is that this is the second time these two will fight each other. We don't have to wonder what this fight's going to look like because we've already seen it before. It's a fight that had us on the edge of our seats for all 5 rounds, just based off the fact alone that Romero's in the cage and he's known to explode and out of nowhere end the fight in an instant. But it was also a fight in which Whittaker acquired a lot of shine when he surprised the MMA fanbase by beating Romero by unanimous decision to win the interim middleweight title and to do so in a fight of the night performance. Another reason this fight is intriguing is because despite how the first fight went, it seems as though many people think that it's going to be very different this time around, and I'm one of those people. Although it's been almost 1 year to date since the two last fought, it really seems as though they're just going to pick right up from where they left off. Whittaker actually hasn't taken a fight due to injury and a surgery since the last one, but he had his interim middleweight title changed to the undisputed middleweight title when UFC dipped in for a fight and then jumped out again. But Yoel Romero has earned a win since, against one of the best middleweights in the game when he knocked out Luke Rockhold at UFC 221 after stepping up on very short notice. Now these two are going to do it again, and as high as I am on Robert Whittaker, I think Yoel Romero shines come this Saturday. Romero is a veteran of the highest level of competition. He has competed in both the 2000 and 2004 Olympics, winning silver in 2000, and is a 5-time medalist at the Worlds. I actually don't always put a lot of stock in an MMA fighter just because they have a lot of wrestling credentials. We've seen medal-winning Olympic wrestlers get dealt with in short order many times in this sport, but Yoel's different. I think all that experience coupled with the fact that he's consistently fought the elite talents in the UFC is going to give him the edge going into this rematch. He's an explosive, powerful, scary guy in the striking department, but he's also cerebral. I think he's going to learn from his mistakes, make adjustments, and go in there on Saturday night and create fireworks like he's done so many times before. Do not miss it.